Good morning. Welcome to day 2 of meditation with Aimee DeRoehn. Meditating in the morning is really genius because everything hasn't started coming at us. If you think about it, our world is flying high, meaning there's so much stimulation, there's so much noise, there is so much technology, we're moving so fast. And yet, this meditation isn't about adding more on. This meditation is about paring things down. Because when we are in a vibration of excess and excessive stimulation, it can be really difficult to dislodge from that. And so meditation with me is meant to give you a way back to peel away the stuff of life, the stuff of mind, and come back to some inner solitude, some inner peace. And maybe it's been a while since you've really felt like that. It doesn't mean it's not there. It just means there's a lot of shit on top of it, but it's still there. So let's begin. Let's just start peeling down, bringing you back to accessing inner quiet, inner calm, inner solitude. That can be your strength. That can be your strength. Sitting comfortably, cross-legged, or in a chair. Supporting your low back by putting something underneath your buttocks so it raises your seat. And has your knees lower than your hips. When they're higher than your hips, it strains the back. Peel away right away by releasing your exhale to the bottom of your lungs. Take in an easy breath. Exhale that to the bottom of your lungs. Take in a slow breath and hold it. And then try to breathe in more and then hold that. And then if you try to take in more, there wouldn't be any room or not much left. Peel it all away with a long breath out. Press your head to your left shoulder, your left palm on your right side of your head. Draw it down towards your left shoulder and push your head into your hands, into your upper hand. Draw your right shoulder down. It's a tiny, tiny movement, but just stretch it toward the floor where the head goes left. So there's real space. Inhale into that space, and when you do, let up on the pressure of the hand on the side of the head. Exhale. Find the place you're going to stretch. Breathe into it. And the inhale lengthens the muscle in the neck. Clear. Take the other side. Right hand on the left side of the head. Draw the head toward the shoulder. And just get a sense of, or you can even take your left fingers to your left shoulder, but draw it down. Push your head into your hand up top. Release a little, stretch a little more, inhale. Push the head back into the hand. Release. Press your chin to your chest. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Push your head, the back of your head, into your hands. Hug your elbows toward each other in the front. Push your head toward the back wall. Whew. Okay, interlace your hands behind your low back. Stretch your arms straight down. That'll open up your chest. Breathe into it. Out breath. Release. 10 fingertips to touch. Your eyes are open. And now keep your thumb tips touching, but take all the other fingers away. And you really want to pay attention this morning to the complete feeling of being anchored at the thumb tips with your mind's gaze and your mind's internal focus. And you're not pressing your thumbs together harshly or sharply. You're just letting them come together, and all the others are apart. If you followed day one, I know that's a little different. That's okay. It's unique every day. Just feel your thumb tips touching. Feel your thumb tips touching. They are touching. Physically feel that connection. Notice if you have to think if your thumb tips are touching, then you're in your head. Don't be in your head. Be with your thumb tips touching. You might feel tingling. You might feel pulsing. There's an energy in the thumb tips touching. And when the mind can razor in on it, the feel of it, it becomes stronger. See, the thumb tips already know they're touching. They're waiting for the mind to catch on. And if the mind is thinking about how you need to go to the bank in the morning, or thinking about pumpkin spice coffee, 'tis the season, I get it. But then your mind will start wandering away from where we are. So right away, and that's so easy to do because we've been doing it for years mindlessly. So if your thoughts start wandering you away, I am telling you, go back. Go back to the thumb tips physically touching. Envision that as this is all happening, envision that there are little helpers like Dr. Seuss, Thing 1 and Thing 2. And just envision that Thing 1 and Thing 2 are stripping down everything else in mind that isn't relevant or helpful, especially if it's scaring you or worrying you or making you sick with anxiety. Get back to the thumb tips touching while the envisioning the helpers cleaning up all the stuff, the pile up of mind. We're here to pare down. The mind will wander off, and this is what meditation is, a practice to go back to the present moment of thumb tips touching. That's it. It's so easy, it feels hard. Isn't that funny? Now, keep your thumb tips together and add your index fingers touching. And see your index fingers. And when your mind says, it's almost like your mind wants to get up out of its seat. And go off in another direction. Tell yourself, silently or out loud, come back to index fingers touching. If you think about it, we're so busy, there's so much going on around us, on the outside of us all the time. Then we have a whole big internal landscape, and we have thought after thought, and they leave us feeling a certain way emotionally. And I'm asking you to just step out of all of that, because it can become like a hypnosis, and go back to the index fingers. Really clean, really clear. Envision there's all this rubbish of mind. And this meditation practice empowers us to get really clean and really clear. Our mental focus is our energy. Get really clean and really clear about where you want your energy to go. Add your middle fingers to this. So now the thumbs, the first and the middle fingers are touching. And then try this out. Take the thumbs and the index fingers apart, the middle fingers touching. Beam your concentration fully down into middle fingers. Your hands will probably be so busy the rest of the day. So what's a little extra undivided attention? To a part of you use all the time. Close your eyes. Drop down and see. Do you feel your middle fingers touching? When you drop down into the middle fingers touching, it can be relieving to the mind to just have an empty moment. The more you make the breath smooth out, that means you've finished those exhalations long and slow. And your inhale comes in long and slow. You keep moving the exhales out so they keep bringing you down into your body. And into the present moment. Bring your thumbs together, index fingers, middle fingers, and feel how powerful that connection is. And notice how it can create an anchor, because the other two fingers, you can't feel them. You know they're there. But feel what it is to just move in toward this presence of the thumb tips, the index, and the middle. Feel the power of those three fingers together. And they're not pushing together really hard. They don't need to. But man, as soon as you know, oh, there's that connection, so relieving for the mind to just let your mind have one thing to focus on, which is feel the 3 sets of fingers touching. You want to slow your mind down. You come back to the fingertips touching, and you keep making the breath smooth and fluid. The thoughts interrupt our smooth, rhythmic, fluid breathing. A worried thought, a hurried thought, agitated. So allow your breath to get smooth, 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 and seamless. And it quiets down the mind at the same time. Third fingers together. Take all the other fingertips apart a little. Concentrate on third fingers. Physically feel sensation. Everyone will feel that in his or her unique way. Add in the middle fingers and the index and the thumbs. It's almost like they're dying to come together because they know where they belong. And then the power of 2, not one against the other, but the power of 2 becoming 1. And the power of 1 fingertip pressing against the other creates strength in the togetherness. Because there is strength in numbers. Third fingers are touching. Drop underneath any surface chatter. Decide you want to think bigger today. You want to think bigger than your usual critical self-talk or fight or flight self-talk. You want to look at the energy behind your words in your internal thoughts. You want to recognize as you keep beaming energy to third fingers touching, mind to third fingers. You recognize thought comes before feeling. It's just that the thought is quieter because it's internal. Or we have somebody say something to us and it creates a feeling emotionally, up or down. And I'm asking you to drop down and evolve yourself bigger, making space for something other than your usual to think about. Feel your third fingers touching. Now bring your focus to your pinky fingers. Give all your concentration to your pinky fingers. Take all the other fingertips apart, except the pinkies. Concentrate fully, like a funnel. Beam your focus through the funnel, straight down to your pinkies touching. Do you feel the physical connection? Do you feel compelled to bring the rest of the fingertips together? And I want you to do that now. And I want you to really put all your power of your thought into all 10 fingers touching. And for the remainder of today, putting out the intention in a clean and clear, sincere way. My higher self leads my personality, ego, mind. I only take orders today from my higher self, which is basically your intuitive self, your soul self, the essence of who you were, that knows everything that's best for you, not for others. We all came in here with a unique path to follow. And basically, everybody wants to get in and give their expert advice or opinion. You want to pay attention to that. You want to pay attention to that because a lot of times, still the pinky fingers are touching, guys. A lot of times people will give us advice that's meant more for them, or they're giving us advice that's meant to take us away from our path. So you want to have a sense of self, is my point. And you want to make that sacred. And meditation is a way back to the path of who you truly are. Feel all 10 fingers touching. And the more you meditate, the more you relax your mind, the more that calms your nervous system. The clearer you are in your focus. So when someone says, hey, what do you think of this? You're not somewhere else. And then here's the really great part. When you create a gap of peace in mind, you're more peaceful emotionally because the two are connected, they're synced up. Think about it. You have a thought that you look fat in the mirror and you feel fat the rest of the day and you feel all down and you probably want to console yourself with a big donut. Thoughts come before feeling. But when you take the time in the day to empower calm, quiet mind, it will empower you emotionally to be more peaceful. That will bring more mental and emotional balance, which will make you more grounded. Focusing on all 10 fingertips touching will empower you to be more grounded in this moment, right here, right now. And then the beauty of this is your nervous system is more even-keeled. Because you're beginning your day with a parasympathetic nervous system, mind, and heart, which means peaceful, restful, calm, quiet, and joyful, hopeful. When your thoughts are stressed out and you start out in a hurry, you are stimulating a mild fight or flight response inside yourself. But if you take the time to say, well, that feels terrible to me, or I'm sick of that, I'm sick of being so stressed out, etc., etc. Well then, now you have a resource. Feel all 10 fingers touching with your eyes closed. And as we clear the mind and drop you down into your body, where our intuition, our intuitive inner voice lives and breathes as a compass to keep us on our unique path with where we belong, with who we belong, etc. Well, you might actually hear it. I have a plaque that says, "Make time for the quiet moments because God whispers and the world is loud." Your intuitive voice, I basically look at it like it's your reception to the divine, to a higher power. And you want that reception clean and clear. Hence why I say we came to pare down. All 10 fingers are touching. Check in with your breathing. Don't change it, just observe it. My hope is it's smoother. The more you relax, the breath gets quieter and slower. I have to get going. I have a busy morning. I'll see you tomorrow. Feel free to email me at waitressforgrace and let me know what this did for you. It's just only more inspiring to me, and I'm very humbled. Namaste.